Howdy, gamers, and welcome to Checkpoint Reach, a weekly show where we discuss a topic in gaming with some occasional news stories, movie and TV quotes, and just some random life rants. Thank you all so much for joining us this week. I am your host, Lex, along with my wonderful co host, Ernie.
Hello,
Ernie.
hello.
Yes, sorry. How are you doing, man? I almost cut you off there. How you doing, man?
I'm
How's it
doing
going? How's
well.
life?
Dude, I'm doing well. I feel like I cut you off. Or I went too fast, didn't I?
You know, I try to set you up to say hi, but now I just realized, I'm like, why don't we just get right into the how are you doing? Because
Uh,
because sometimes I'll say, "Here's my co-host Ernie." He'll be like, "Hey, I'm doing great." I'm like, "Oh, here we go." So
it's
that's why
because
we
I
start
always
like
think
that,
that
dude.
when you do that, that's what it is, right? It's
I
like
know. I key up. But how are you, man? How's it going?
chilling, dude. I'm doing well. Just kind of chilling. Busy as a little bee, as they say. I feel like I was telling you this before, but I feel like when I wasn't busy, when I was chilling for the most part, I was like bored. I'm like, dude, I'm waiting to do something. But now that I have so much to do, it's just like man, I want to go back to being bored. You know what I mean? Where it's like you have nothing to do.
You take it for granted, dude. Definitely. I've been there. We've all been there. I think you just get a little anxious. You get a lot on your plate. I'm sure. That's good, man. I'm glad you're chilling. There was a guy I knew. I don't know. I forget who he was. I don't know how I knew him. It might have been a friend of a friend. But one time I was like, he's like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" I'm chilling. He's all, "Big chilling." I'm like, yeah. And that was it. I was like, but sure. I don't know. Are you small chilling? Yeah, it was. I always try to remember who this person was, and I just can never forget it. So if you're listening, dude, please let me know. You're probably not, but I sorry. I'm pretty sure it was a friend of a friend. But yeah,
That's awesome. I love that. That's a great little story, dude. I used to always say chin chillin'. That's what I don't know why I always used to say that. It was a silly one. A little silly
it's
goose
pretty,
joke.
mm,
But how are you, my friend? Now you're a little sickies. I know that
uh, yeah, dude.
by the voice you can hear it.
Yeah, I'm just getting into it. If you hear a little in the background, it's because I'm chewing on a cough drop. I'm trying to
It's
this
because he's
week.
feasting. That's why.
I
Like a praying
Yeah, dude,
mantis.
I got hit. So this past weekend we were out. We did a joint bachelor and bachelorette party for my buddy who's getting married in October. So we went out to Temecula. The fun times were had. Not a lot of sleep. Not a lot of sleep went on. But yeah, I got back and I was fine for Sunday and whatever the regular like tiredness. But then on Monday, man, my head was pounding. I had a nasty cough. I was just exhausted, my body, and like it's Wednesday now. It's Wednesday night. I'm somewhat better, but I still have the cough. But the headache's gone at least, but the cough is still there. I was hoping it'd be gone by record. So you might hear my little voice is a little not as great as it used to be. I'll try not to cough as much into the mic. I will mute it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna let Ernie handle the topic this week for sure. But hey, before we get into the topic this week, dude, are you playing any? Have you been playing any games? I feel like you haven't been. I know it's been a busy week for you, but please let sound off. Sound off.
Yeah, dude. No, it's been tough to kind of get some gaming in. To be honest with you, I know I talked about it last week, which is sad because like I guess it's not an escape because that's not what I like doing. But there's times where it's like the chill mode, where you just turn off the brain a little bit just to play and feel like you're overachieving in something, whatever the game is or whatever. So yesterday I was kind of burnt out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna study. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna chill for one day. And so I ended up playing a little Hollow Knight, dude. And I don't know if I said it in the other episode, but I had been playing on my Android phone, and they had this update, and it erased all my my saved game data, so I wasn't able to like continue where I was, and so I had to start from the beginning. I'm like, I gotta start playing the Steam Deck, and I pulled out the Steam Deck. I was telling you this, dude. I know we both have this because you have your Asus. And what we do is like you have to like set it up because you have to download all the updates, got to get it ready, everything. So I did that while I was doing a little. I did end up studying yesterday a little bit, but and so I set it up and everything, and I started playing a little Hollow Knight. I played like for an hour or something like that, and I got back to where I was in my save, like where I started. I even had more, and it was crazy. And I think it's because now I kind of realized where I was going, so everything was a little bit easier and faster to get to where I needed to be. but it's still hard because like I don't know where the heck I'm going. But I like it so much because I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty good at it. But I was telling friend of the channel, Kyle Golden Doodle, and he told me just wait because you're not to the more difficult bosses. I guess once you start getting more power ups and all that stuff, they start to get a little more difficult. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm doing pretty darn well right now. Like I'll fight like an enemy, and I'm like Shovel Knight or freaking a Scrooge McDuck, where I'm like hitting them with the where I'm on the top, like smacking them. You know what I mean, pogo stick style. So that's pretty dope. So I'm having a fun time with that. I'm hoping to play today, but I think I need to study for something. So I double check. But what about you, my friend?
That
What have
sounds
you
good,
been
man. I
playing?
know you've been telling me about it. Yeah, I don't think you talked about it on. Maybe you talked about it 2 episodes ago, but I don't think so. I was in debt, but you've talked to me definitely. That's cool, man. That's great. It's been a game I've looked out for. I know it's really popular. I would love to get into it, but I don't know if I can. I'll try my best. But as far as me, man, yeah, I was gone, like I said, so I didn't really try to play anything. But after, I don't know if I talked about this on the channel with everyone, but after we did our Batman episode, I tried to get like you. I got my Asus back. I'm like, you know what? It's been a while. Let's get all the downloads ready to go. Did everything I needed to do, and then I downloaded Batman Arkham Knight. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Arkham City. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm ready to play this. And it just wouldn't work. And then like I was like, what's going on? I had to download something else. Still didn't work. Reinstalled, rebooted, did so much stuff, bro, and I can't get it to work. And there's not much like videos that I can find on it. Like people are just showing mostly playing the game and not really showing me how to get there. And it's like I can't get the main screen to show, so I can't even fix the settings on the game. It will not show for me. So it's really sad. It made me really sad and really got me discouraged. I'm like, screw this, dude. So I haven't played anything. I don't know if I talked about last week. I know Last of Us. I'm getting pretty close to the end of that part 2. But besides that, last night I think I played some Peak. Friend of the cast channel, Jamie. We were playing. Dude, him and I just got far together. We got to the volcano area, and we did the Mesa update, which I had never done. It's like basically it's like a tornado, and you can't be in the
Oh,
sun or it
cool.
burns you. But also because
Yeah.
you have to put your little backpack on, and I had to guide him like as he has the backpack. I'm all right, go left, left, left. All right, now back to get to the shade.
Oh,
It
that's
was funny,
sweet.
dude. And like there's something
Wait,
I got that we never had before, but we got the you get umbrellas and you can use it for the sun. You just walk with it, and when you jump, it makes you float down. So at
oh,
one
that's
point,
cute.
I turned around, and hey, look at me, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, and I just flew
Oh,
down.
that's sweet.
It was sweet. It was cool, dude.
Did
And then
question?
I
I saw this thing on the update where it was a scoutmaster chasing you or
he's
something.
been there for a while, but we have not.
I've
None of us
never
have yet to
seen
see
him.
him. I don't know how. Maybe in the higher levels as you beat the game a couple more times, because once you beat the game once, it unlocks a new tier, which is like you take more fall damage, and we haven't been since then. I don't think. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen the Scoutmaster yet, and I really want to. But yeah, so we didn't beat it. I died like right away after I did the stupid Mary Poppins thing. I'm gonna jump down here, and because the
Hmm.
umbrella is very kind of deceiving, because like you'll jump, but it doesn't give you a really big jump. So that's how I ended up dying. I found the lava,
Gotcha.
and it's funny because he revives me, but my head was still tilted into the by the lava. So when he revived me, as soon as I got up, the fire went in my head and just killed me again. It was so funny.
Oh,
And he
that
turned around.
sucks.
He's all right. Let's go. I was dead. So what happened? But dude, that game is still funny. I really enjoy that game. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing, man. It's a great time. It's super fun. Um, recommend.
Can I tell
I
you
never
something?
want to do like the mods where you can do like more people. It'd be so much fun to have a bunch of people in there. But I
Yeah,
mean, it's already
definitely.
hard enough to get 4 people as it is. But
Definitely, dude. I want to say this
good,
because you
please.
can't see this, but I can, and obviously the people watching or the friends here watching on YouTube. But I'm on the left side or right, or depending on how it records. But the body of Wolverine that I added for you, that he has the little red shirt. It looks like I am. I'm mixed with it.
All you need
I'll
is a
send you.
hat, dude.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I'll send you the little picture so you can see it because it's really funny. But I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was so freaking hilarious. But
Well, that's a great transition to our topic this week, dude. We're talking Marvel's Wolverine for the PS5. We're talking about this game, and where the hell is it, Ernie? Would you like to continue and take over for us here?
yeah, dude. So this is coming off the coattails of a bit of news that we had heard, or Lex and I had heard, and I'm assuming everyone else did. But basically, there was one of those insiders had said that there's going to be a PlayStation experience, or what is it? Not a PlayStation experience. It's a
State of play.
state of play. Thank you on Wolverine, and it's going to be soon. And I was like, man, how exciting is that? We haven't heard about Wolverine since like maybe when it was actively being developed around April 2025. And then there was like this big leak by MP Furs that had come out. And it was like this whole gameplay section of it. Do you remember this, Lex?
I do.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been like a year since we had seen it or so. Um, but apparently, Insomniac is still playing this one close to the chest. So when do you think Logan's big PS5 debut is going to be? What are your thoughts? Like, when do you think it's going to be out?
So let me just tell you. So the state of play isn't supposed to be all about Wolverine. It's supposed to include an update on Wolverine. But yeah, as far as when I think it's coming out, I mean, obviously, definitely next year. I mean, maybe it's kind of just keeping it's their cards close to their chest because of Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Like they don't want to open too early because Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to come out May, I believe, or is it March? May or March?
I think it's March.
And then maybe the possibility of them delaying that as well. So they're kind of waiting. But I feel like it's going to come out more towards the fall area, just similar to Spider-Man. I think they came out in like October. That's what I'm thinking is coming. And I really do hope we get an actual state of play with this game because, yeah, like you said, we've been waiting for this for so long. And it's like, where's the update? I mean, we're going to get into more of what we've seen later, but yeah, continue.
Yeah,
and I did see that picture you sent. Looked pretty sweet. Your body is on it looked pretty good.
I didn't do that on purpose, so it just kind of worked itself out. But yeah, dude, I think you're right. I think with GTA 6 on the horizon, and I was telling you this before, I think like there's gonna be like this either 2 month or 3 month, I would even say 4 months to be honest with you, of games not wanting to be around that area. I'm not saying everyone is gonna want to buy GTA 6, but I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna buy GTA 6, which is hard to because it's such a the way I said that is like I'm contradicting what I'm saying, but it's like yeah, people could eventually be like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy that game," or "I can't buy it because it's mature," right? Because not everyone can buy this game, right? And so it makes it difficult, so that not everyone could definitely own it. Um, but it's definitely going to sell like crazy. So I think these games are either going to come out earlier or they're going to come out way after the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. I think that's the smart thing, right? I think that just happened with Hollow Knight Silk Song. That game was not randomly shadow dropped, but they kind of dropped it. They're like, we're dropping it September 11th or whatever it was, or something like that, 8th maybe. And they're like, we're dropping it, and then like bunch of other games, like little indie games, they're like, we're we're gonna step down, like we're like because they're scared, right? They're not gonna sell well, and I think that's the thing with a lot of these games, like. I think Wolverine, it's been in development quite some time now, so I'm assuming that they have something ready to play, but I think they're just refining it. And I think they might release it next year early. Early next year, I apologize. Personally, I think so. But again, I could be wrong. But I want to ask you this, Lex. Good.
No, I can see it being like a January release for sure, or just like late December. I mean, I don't know if it'll be December, but like a late January release would be like a really good, or even February. I feel like that's a pretty hot time for games to drop. We've had like Elden Ring in the past, Horizon. What were you gonna ask me? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask you now. You and I are both Marvel video game lovers. We've played all the games, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, some of the best.
I wouldn't say all of them, but yes, most of them.
Most of them, right? Does this make you more excited than some of the Insomniac games we already had? The Marvel Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, the Miles Morales DLC. Does this make you more excited, or did you like Spider-Man more?
I mean, I did. I loved the Insomniac Spider-Man little series with Miles Morales and all that stuff. I think the stories were great. One was fantastic. I thought Miles Morales was a really great story, really tight. packed. I'm really curious to see what they will do with Wolverine. I remember pitching you an idea too. I said like if they do the Wolverine game similar to the X-Men Origins video game and like the Hulk Ultimate Destruction game, like I think that would be a winner. About that. If people, if you aren't, or listeners, if you aren't familiar with those games, familiarize. Like I know the X-Men Origins wasn't the best movie, but the game was pretty awesome. But you know, I'm excited. I think I trust in Insomniac. I think they'll give us something good. What about
Yeah,
you?
dude. No, I agree, dude. I think all their games haven't missed. I think Spider-Man 2 wasn't as great as the first one. I think I really enjoyed the villain and the story, the way that was conceived. But I think the gameplay for Spider-Man 2 was just so much better, so much improvement in a lot of little aspects. And I won't get into that because I don't want to spoil it, just in case people haven't played the game. And if you haven't
Like,
played the friends of the channel, please go play that game. It's awesome. What were we gonna say, Lux?
no, yeah, yeah. I mean, I was going to say, no, actually nothing. No, those are fantastic games. I mean, like you said, the second one is definitely the first one. The story is a lot better. But yeah, the second one is still pretty darn good. I will maybe we'll do an episode on it on those games separately at another time.
Definitely,
We can
I'm
really
really
dive in.
down. Yeah, definitely. I would love to talk about that. But yeah, like so, let's kind of keep moving here. I want to ask you a few other questions here. Now, right now, at this point, there is no confirmed release date. We've talked about this. Apparently, the official word is still in active development as of April 25, as I stated. Um, Now, Lex, I told you there was a leak of gameplay. Now, I assume you've watched this, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Okay. You're good.
I was moving my
So,
head. I'm like, wait a minute. This is an audio. Not everyone's
no, no,
visually good.
yeah, you're good. You're good. I just, I can't see you because I'm looking at the script, so it's different. You'll see when I'm a little wider, when I'm
Script.
looking at
I
the
don't read script.
Google
Script reads
Doc.
me.
No, I'm looking at the Google Doc, the little things, because I don't know all these dates. And so, you've seen the gameplay. What are your thoughts on that? Like, obviously, we can't show that. I would love. I asked Lex before I proposed this episode. I was like, Lex, what do you think if we show the gameplay? And he's like, we're probably gonna get taken down, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. You can find it. Anyone who really wants to look for it, I'm sure most people have seen it. It was a big leak. I thought it looked cool. Obviously, I want to see a little bit more. It basically just looked like Spider-Man, but just Wolverine style, and exactly what I expect as Wolverine fighting, like with his claws and maybe having like some kind of berserker mode, you know. And we saw a lot of stuff like that. So I definitely want to see more. But I mean, again, like if the gameplay is similar to like a Spider-Man version, but like Wolverine, then I'm already pretty sold because that gameplay was so like fluid and so easy to use and learn. So I'm confident it's going to be like the same way. And what how long ago was that when they released that footage that leak came out? Like earlier this year?
I want to say it was like in the beginning of this year, but I want to. I might be mistaken. My little pig was.
I mean, yeah, it's no big deal, but
it was only.
it was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like. I think it was only like. Wait, no. Actually, it came out a while ago, bro. Came out in 2021. No. Oh
The
no, that
leak?
was the trailer when the first trailer that came out. I apologize. Um, but yeah. So let me get into my thoughts a little bit of the gameplay that I
Please,
saw.
please.
So I think it looks awesome. I'm excited. I love that over the shoulder look, right? I think it lends well to the character of Wolverine, and I like the way that there's a brutality to the character. I think that I think him being more hands-on, sort of like Spider-Man, and I think if you and I have played Spider-Man, but those who have not, there's a quickness to Spider-Man. The way he gets to somewhere, it's a lot quicker than the way that Wolverine looks. And again, this isn't the full release of the game, so they might change things up a little bit. But the way that he kind of locks into the characters, he still has to get there. It isn't like locked in, kind of like Batman Arkham Asylum Origins, all that stuff. It's not like that, or Spider Man, where it's like quick. It kind of feels like you're kind of in there like Kratos, right? Over that shoulder, kind of getting to the character, trying to figure out how certain characters will react to the way you're fighting. But it does feel like I stated before, it's more gruesome, more brutal in the way that Wolverine is attacking these whatever the villains are. It's just really cool. I love this one particular moment. You guys should definitely go check this out. It might ruin the game if you didn't want to see anything, but there's a particular moment where like these ninjas attack him, right? And he gets stabbed in his back. And then he's getting stabbed and he runs through the window, breaks through, and he's like stabbing one of the guys and he takes him down. And then like there's more ninjas coming his way, and he has that big sword still in his back that he someone just stabbed him, right? And he pulls it out like if he was like how would like sealed away, you know what I mean? Because it's like really dug in there. So he pulls it out and then he freaking throws it at some dude that's running at him. Dude, it's all, dude, it looks so freaking cool. And I'm like, dude, I cannot wait to see that in such a more refined way because the way that looked already was so freaking cool. And I know you said that they should kind of go back to formula of like Wolverine or was it Origins? Yeah, right.
Origins
That's
and
the
then
game.
Incredible Hulk Destruction.
Yeah. So if it goes back to that, it'd be cool. Yeah, but it's got to be more like I guess this sounds silly to say, but like that new gameplay we have. If you go back, there's a little jankiness to those old games. I played Incredible Hulk
Of course.
recently, put on for like 5 minutes or so. But I remember being like, man, this is a lot of fun. You could see the little kinks in the armor. You know what I mean? Like of the beauty we saw as kids. It's like, oh wow, we've got it so much better now. There's games that like fix that little issues.
I mean, it was awesome at the time, dude. But I wonder if like how they're gonna handle the traveling for Wolverine. He's just like a motorcycle, and he just drives around like, you know what I mean?
Could
But like,
be. I know in the trailer he's at a bar, and I wrote down here where the bar was because I know. Oh yeah, it's Princess Bar in Madripoor. It's a classic like marble location, but I'm wondering if because like you said, is he gonna fast travel or is he gonna like kind of like run around
or
like?
jump, like he probably jumps high, you know, like a
I mean, he does in the
he does jump.
game, but I don't
Can't be too
know.
crazy.
But I don't know if he's only going to do it in this particular location and it's more linear of a game, or is it going to be like Spider-Man, Batman, where he's like roaming everything? Because the rest of that particular area, I assume, is forest, which is probably going to lend to like him doing some sort of stalking or something like Batman using a sort of detective vision or something, or because if those who don't know of Wolverine, he has a really high sense of smell, and also I think he can like track. He's a really good tracker, so I think they might kind of blend into that into the gameplay, which sounds freaking awesome. Um, but yeah, so any other thoughts on the gameplay at all, my friend?
No, dude, I just ready to get some more, dude. I want to hear. I want these questions answered, dude, as soon as we can, because I do want to play this game. It's been a while. It's been a while since we knew about it. It's been a long time.
I know it's crazy.
A
I mean,
long time we wait.
I did. I know. The cool thing is that we know that it's still being worked on and that we know it's there, right? That it's going to come eventually. I know that Insomniac has said they'll share updates when they're ready and they're not rushing, which is cool. It's always like I know as a consumer of like games where you're like, dude, I wish I could play this game now, but it's like there's a moment of like you got to realize let them cook, as they say. You know what I mean? As the kids say, let them cook, right? Let them make this game the best it can be so when it does come out, it's great, right? Um, but yeah, so there's an industry insider. His name is Tom Henderson. I want to tell you about this. He was talking on a podcast and he had hinted that there's like playtesters that have been playing the game, and apparently they are very impressed. And they said that they said this about the game. They said it's fantastic looking. Now for sure,
Say that again.
ah, fantastic. It's good. He's good. Fantastic Four. Um, so yeah, so apparently it looks great, awesome. I'm excited to hear that because obviously I said it looks cool already. What I'm more curious about is does it play great? You know what I mean? That like game, I get it. Listen, graphics are awesome. I love seeing beautiful sceneries and all that stuff, but gameplay is king. Gameplay is king. and we need to know if it's going to play well and if it's going to be fun enough to enjoy how many hours it is as it when we end up getting it. But he also said, like I stated before, Henderson was also suggesting there was going to be a release date announcement, and it was not far off. Then that's where the state of play that we were talking about might come out. Lex, thoughts on them saying it was fantastic looking? Obviously, we're just kind of going off of you riffing a little bit, but
I mean, could that be could that just be a close like little hint to the Fantastic Four being introduced in the game? You know what I mean? And that's their next game.
yeah.
No kidding, dude. No, I believe it, but like exactly what you're saying, dude. Yeah, it's fantastic looking, but does it feel fantastic? But again, it's like such an early probably build that it's not probably doesn't feel the best yet. But I mean, people have already play testing it. It's got to feel, at least pretty decent, right? So yeah, I'm it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see something.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, dude. I know you were alluding to the Fantastic Four. I'm not sure if you're joking around or not, but I know that they were saying that um the timing releases of this movie, of this game, may line up with Marvel's new X-Men push in movies around 2027. Because I know that they were trying to kind of like get all the games and movies kind of in one sort of bunched up moment, like where this is happening here, this is happening over there. You know what I mean? Did
Oh yeah, I
you?
feel you.
So that might be a thing, but I don't know. I mean, it could be its own standalone thing. I know they were saying that the Wolverine game that we're gonna get is a standalone game in terms of this is only Wolverine's story, but it will loosely be based also on Spider-Man's universe. So there'll be something that kind of ties it in, but it's its own thing, right? Um, would you want them like? Would you like Peter Parker Spider-Man? He's like, I'm out here in Madripoor taking pictures for J. Jonah Jameson. Like, it'd be silly, but like,
I
would
mean,
you
dude,
want
it'd
some
be
sort of
cool. It'd
crossover
be
like
cool
that?
to for them to meet up for sure. I mean, I can see, hey, bub, just it'd be a cool little story. I'm sure maybe they get him to fight a little bit too, in the game. Maybe not this game, but in the future, I wouldn't mind seeing him. Who knows if we can get Peter Parker over there? He's just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. In the Spider-Man games, was there a lot of picture taking missions? I think in the first one, right? You had to take some pictures as Peter Parker. I can't remember.
I don't remember if I know the
But
second
I know
one
as Spider-Man, you were taking pictures swinging around something like it.
for sure. Yeah.
And then what's his name would call you? What's his name?
J. Jonah Jameson.
No, the other guy is
Oh my
Robbie
Robbie
Robinson. I think honestly, I think his name is like something like that. He's like, man, Spider-Man, that's awesome. That thing's he's all sweet. And I remember, I don't know if you remember in the movies. I think it's the third one, Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. He goes, I heard Spider-Man was there. And he just stares at Tobey Maguire because he knows, you know what I mean? He just stares at him. That guy's sweet. I think it is Robbie. I'll look it up. Like, yeah, continue.
No, you're good one. Sweet ass movie. Okay, so let's move on here, my friend. Now, I told you that the trailer that had come out, right, came out. It was only 53 seconds of a bar scene that was revealed in 2021.
Sorry, real quick. Robbie Robertson.
Oh,
close enough.
Close.
But anyway, continue.
Close enough. I thought you were gonna say the Better Man. Sorry, where was it? Yeah, so the gameplay trailer that we had gotten came out in 2021. It showed Logan at the Princess Bar, the Madripoor, right? There was no gameplay showed, just cinematic atmosphere, right? And I wanted to ask you this question, my friend. When you saw that trailer, did you feel like you wanted to see more? Or were you like, I'm already sold?
To be honest with you, dude, I don't even remember the initial trailer as much. I know you see this backside in the bar. Honestly, I don't even remember because it's just so long ago. I remember more of the test footage. But I mean, honestly, yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, I'm in. Of course, I wanted to see more, definitely. But like from that initial look, I was like, yeah. But now I'm like, well, it's been so long. Why haven't we seen any more? You know what I mean? Now I'm like, what the hell? Now I'm pissed. Because it's like one of those situations, right, where you're like, and you've asked me this, I think, off the channel, but you're like, hey, should gameplay be teased this early, this announcement? Because you've seen it with like Skull and Bones. It took it like 8 years, and it's just like constant. And now we're going on 4 years with this game since the initial scene. So it's kind of like, man, they should have just waited until it was a little bit more finished to release it, because they did that with what, the second Jedi game, Jedi Survivor. Remember, they showed they announced it, showed stuff, and it was already coming out like within the year. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it needs. That's what I like, dude, because we want it now. I don't know. Sorry, I went off on that.
No, dude, that was good. Yeah, you're good. That's the thing though, is that some games will sell better than others, and some need to marinate in the limelight, right? Where it's like they keep talking about it, they keep talking about it here and there, here and there, here and there, but it keeps being talked about a lot. Like I feel like I've seen a lot of Ghost of Yotai gameplay, and the game's about to come out, but I'm like, dude, I don't even watch the gameplay, but I'm just like, I see that it's out. There's so much, and I'm like, why am I seeing so much of this game? Like, why is it out there so much? And I have a feeling that they do that because they're scared that it's not going to sell well. I have a feeling that they think it's not going to sell as well.
That game in particular was having some like kind of backlash, right? And which is a shame.
With which one?
But I think Ghost of Yotai, I think, was having. That's why they're probably showing so much.
Please elaborate.
Huh?
Elaborate, please.
No, I think people were like, just everyone was angry with like the main protagonist, that she, some of her views, I guess, on her personal life. It's like, man, it's just like just she's just an actress. She's doing the job, and and we're gonna see that. That's how we're gonna fight. And I think that's what the backlash is happening. Some people are like, we're not gonna support this because of this, and there's also the whole issue like, it's no longer a male, which is silly, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm alluding to. But I think the game's gonna do great. I hope so.
I hope so.
I know there's probably some users gonna be like, it's a flop. Ghost of, there's certain users out there. You know who you are.
That's the thing is like,
that's what I'm talking about.
There's so many variables now to the way that games sell, because the game's expensive. It's like going to be like $70 when it releases, and not everyone is able to afford a game like that. And I think you got to take under consideration that that's an issue, and also maybe, like you said, people don't want to play the female protagonist. Whatever, that's fine if they don't want to either. But I honestly believe that that's why they're kind of like showing a lot of gameplay. I feel like they think it's gonna not sell well, but I'm hoping it does. Like I'm gonna definitely play it. Dude, honestly, even not talking about that, but I'm more excited for Silent Hill F.
Yeah, but I mean, I've also, like I was about to say, that I've seen a bunch of gaplay for that game as well, and like, dude,
Resident Evil with
Queen.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's just a different. Sometimes you see a lot of gameplay, sometimes you don't. I don't know. I guess I haven't. I think I'm mixing it up with Resident Evil, but anyway, let's get back to the real. We're getting off topic here. Let's go back to
Hey, dude, hey, who's that? Whose YouTube channel is this? Ours, dude. We can get off the path as much as we want.
True.
I don't know what I was gonna say, dude. Okay. So no official gameplay yet, but obviously they got the leak, right? It's third-person action adventure. I wanted to ask you this, my friend. Would you want to play like we talked about this before, and you kind of see the gameplay. Again, they could always change it when it releases, but do you want it to play more like Batman Arkham, where it's like that slow, brutal combat, or do you want it to be like the Spider-Man, where it is fast and fluid? But even with Batman Arkham, like I said, you get to a certain part of the combo flow where you become faster. And yes, it feels brutal the way you're beating up someone, but it doesn't look like the gameplay we saw with Wolverine. It feels like a slightly different and a variation between the both, right? I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
That's what I was gonna say. That it definitely looks like a little bit of a both, and I think what we need with Wolverine, because he's, a savage beast, right? That's his character, and we needed to play like that. So we need a little bit of that really brutal combat, and also really fast as well. And I think that's what they need to get a good mix of. And I feel like that's what they're going to do, because even Spider-Man had the combos, right? Once you hit a good combo and you're streaking, you're flying, you're bouncing between people, and you would even get points for it in certain little areas if there's like a little challenge. So I think it needs to be a mix of both. Definitely. I think that would be perfect for the Wolverine character. Like I said, similar to like that Berserker mode back in the X-Men Wolverine origin game. But yeah, that's what I think. What about? I mean, you kind of alluded to it as well, but I'm assuming that's the same thoughts.
No, yeah, dude, yes, I share the same sentiment as you. I think they should go like down that path. I don't think it could be too fast. I don't think it could be too slow. I think it has to be in this in between, sort of to make you feel like you are the Wolverine. I think that's the thing we talked about before, you and I, with Spider-Man and Batman. Like when you're playing as those characters, you feel like Batman when you're doing these things. When you're playing as Spider-Man, you feel like Spider-Man. And the great thing about how great that gameplay is for both of those games is the more you progress and the more you're unlocking things and getting better, you become a better Batman. You become a better Spider-Man. It's so rewarding. And that's what I want with Wolverine. I want to be able to feel like I'm playing as Logan and it's just the Logan we know, and then he's just progressively getting crazier and crazier and crazier with his like powers, because like we always seen him go berserk. He goes, "Ah," and then he's like, and that's like what I want to get to. You know what I mean? I don't want that to be right on the beginning, because then it's just kind of like those like a shooting gallery. You know what I mean? Like where you're always behind cover and just, but it's like it'll be like that, and that's not what I want. I want it to progress in a good gameplay story, whatever. But yeah, dude. Excuse me. Let's see. All right. Now this is gonna be a PS5 exclusive, right? Which makes sense because I think Insomniac is pushing the PS5 hardware as much as they can, especially like with like Rich Ratchet and Clank, the Rift Apart, right? I think you played that. I wasn't able to play it.
Yeah, dude, that game was fantastic. A lot of fun. I think that was one of the very first, besides like Horizon and Miles Morales. I think that was like one of the early PlayStation 5 games. Well, I take that back. I think that was like one of the PlayStation 5 games that made it feel like a PlayStation 5, along with the Horizon Forbidden West. Game was fantastic. If you have not played that game, play that game.
That's crazy. I think the first one that hit me pretty darn hard for PS5 was when I put on Demon Souls. And I've played Demon Souls on the PS3 and obviously wasn't that great looking. But dude, when you play it on PS5, I just remember being like, dude, this is freaking crazy looking. This is
I still have yet to play that one. I'm scared.
Dude, dude, it is scary. Dude. I can't even get past like the beginning. Not because it's hard. I just don't know what the heck I'm doing. But yeah, so like I said, it's gonna come out PS5. I know you want a PS5 Pro, so they might even improve when they end up getting that version as well, if they have it right away. So we can expect that it's gonna have some cutting edge visuals, maybe some ray tracing, or not a lot, but fast loading times. So it's gonna be seamless when you're exploring, which is awesome. But I also wanted to ask you this question, my friend Lex. Now, do you think that Wolverine, the game of Wolverine, should it lean more into a cinematic stories or like a grounded storytelling where it kind of goes for more of that Marvel spectacle, like the movies? Or do you want it to kind of get, it's not that it's tied down, but written to the sort of video game audience, kind of like the Spider-Man 2, where it kind of like it leads to gameplay, not just a Hideo Kojima long cinematic cutscene. You know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts? Which one do you prefer?
I mean, yeah, I definitely would want it to be similar to the Spider-Man games, right? I mean, that's what made those games so great and so fun. I know a lot of people complain with PS5 that they're all just cinematics. That's all it is. They're just movies, and that's not true. They're fantastic gameplay, and they look amazing with great storytelling. Like I want the grounded story, but I also want the big part of it, right? I want it to be more comic booky because Wolverine, he's a comic book character, right? Like, and I'm thinking more of like the fast travel aspect that we talked about, like make it more comic booky where it's kind of silly in a way, like, oh, but it's like clever also for him to like even have to fast travel if it is an open world game. But that like I just want it all, right? But like I think I'm leaning more towards like let's make it the big kind of spectacle in a way, but also kind of grounded in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but what about you?
No, I agree, and I understand what you're going for, because there's something about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that the movies kind of cultivated that made you excited for what's to come. In some games, when you're gonna get the sequel, you don't feel like it's gonna be quite as good. With the next one, whatever the next story is. And I was thinking about this actually today because I was thinking about Marvel movies because of this particular conversation we were having. And I remember when we were watching Marvel movies, you and I, all those 10 plus years ago, when it was like Iron Man 1 and all that. And it would set up whatever the next thing was going to be. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, we're going to get introduced to this and this is going to happen. All this speculation, and everyone would talk and think about what this, and that. And then, you get to the new Marvel, you get to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and you get to introduce to Charlize Theron at the end. I don't know who her character is. I don't know why she's there. Will we ever see her again? I doubt it. The Eternals came out. Harry Styles comes out and he says, I believe, um, uh, tastes like strawberries. I'm just kidding. On a summer evening. I'm sorry. I had to sing a little song.
I thought you were
I'm
going to say
sorry.
Sign of the Times or something. This is a sign of the
That's
times.
Signs of the Times is a great song. But yeah, so he comes out. His name is Star Fox. He's Thanos' brother. Comes out randomly, says something, and then it's like, we're never gonna see that guy again. Like, it's like these things, but like that's what I kind of want from the Wolverine game, where it sets up something where the world is just there and it's alive and there's more going on, but like we need to focus on this. Kind of like Spider-Man 1 and 2, the games that we played, the new ones. Um, you are the neighborhood Spider-Man. Would you say it was neighborhood Spider-Man, right?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, yeah.
There you go, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like that's what he is. That's what he's handling. That this is his life here in New York. Not here where we were, not in New York, but I'm saying in New York when you're playing. When it was he was the character. And so there's still a lot more going on in the background, like because the story is being built in the world that you're playing. There's a lot of little things going on. You hear about these characters, you hear about these little things. It's really cool, man. And that's kind of what I wish for Wolverine. I want that setup for more. But I still want them to like make this a standalone game where it works so well, which is kind of what we already heard, right? Insomniac is doing. They're like, this is gonna be a standalone thing, but there's gonna be a little bit of, you know, there is a universe here.
Yeah, the Easter eggs, right? You want to add some Easter eggs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, dude. Yeah, I mean, what about the possible villains for this game, man? I mean, I know you have listed here. Yeah, Sabretooth, Silver Samurai, Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red. Um, Probably some more cameos in there, maybe some little Cyclops, Jean Grey. Who knows? You don't know what's gonna happen. Like you said, building on the world. I know you don't want it to be too overwhelming with the cameos of our heroes, but it's always nice to have a little bit something in there, dude. I know, just you know what I'm saying.
I do. I I kind of want them to bring out like X-23. Like I want something having to do with like his future of what he can do. Like I really, if you guys haven't seen the movie Logan, it's the third one out of the the was the first one was X-Men Origins, and then the second one was Wolverine, and then there's a third one, Logan, which is they all are part of the same story. And Logan, the way that they handle that, the way the story is so beautifully done. And I know you've watched that movie a few times, just like I did. And I remember thinking, like, I want this. I want this too, like that
But
groundedness.
then that kind of like brings out the whole. I mean, I know you're not asking for example exactly, but if they did it that way, it's going to be like, oh, now they're doing like another Last of Us or another God of War. You know, it's always the father son or father daughter dynamic.
True.
But I mean, it works, right? A lot of the time, it works really well if it's done well. So I mean, I could see it happening, and then she's all in X-23. She's like, I don't know, and she's all speaking Spanish. She's all sweet in that movie. But it's a great movie. But yes, I see what you're saying though. I like
No,
I like the direction you're going.
I don't know if I need to see him be a father, but I definitely want to see him be sort of
A mentor, maybe.
empathetic and to a lot of the things that are going on because he's been around such a long time. And I'm hoping that they do something with mutants where, I mean, this is the cool thing about X-Men. If you watch the cartoons and all that, there's always been this sort of the stereotypical mutant. Like they have these powers and they think that they're evil, so humans don't dislike them, right? Regular people. And so Wolverine has been around all that. And so I'm hoping that it's him trying to like help the next generation with something like that. Something cool like that where it's like really well done, kind of brings in the original X-Men storyline, but expands on it in like a newer sort of tone.
Do like a Days of Futures Past story would be pretty sweet.
That would be
That was a
cool.
great movie. But yeah, dude, I mean, do you want to see Insomniac build or like an adventure style game? Keeping on this topic, do you want them to keep each story separate and personal, or at one point there's like a team up? I personally, maybe they can build to like their own kind of version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You know what I mean? But their own like kind of version of it.
Oh, that sounds so silly that it
Because like
could work.
we need another one of those kind of games. I mean, I know they came out with Midnight Suns, which I think is pretty close to it as well. But if we get a game like that, like maybe a Fantastic Four style game as well, Insomniac can work on. There's so many possibilities, and games might be back. What do you think, dude?
I wouldn't want it because I feel like it's silly, but I feel like they could definitely do it. But I wouldn't want it. I don't know. Now you're kind of selling it on me, dude. It sounds because it sounds so silly. It'll be fun. You know what I mean? But it'll lose that
video games.
Yeah, but I guess, but it'll lose that like seriousness of what they're trying to go for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Deadpool 3, right? We with the movie, like when Logan dies, right? Sorry, spoiler alert. In Deadpool, he comes back to see him, and it's like this whole thing. You know what I mean? And it's silly. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I mean, so many possibilities that could be done with this. But yeah, dude, either way, I'm excited. Hopefully next week we do end up getting that state of play that it's rumored to get to show up at. But that's where we're at with X-Men. I mean, yeah. What else? Anything else you wanted to say, Aaron's, or?
No. As always, I would like to thank the audience for tuning in every week when we drop an episode. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Please, friends of the channel, follow us on Instagram at checkpoint_reach. There I and Lex will be there to answer any inquiry you may have. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost anything to hit that like button. It just helps out us a lot. But and also, if you disagree with us, or there's something that you did agree with us, or there's something that we left out that we didn't talk about, please sound off in the comment section, and we could talk about it next episode. We would love to have you contribute to the episode, and you'll know, we'll shout you out if there's a really cool thing you said. Maybe you said, "Oh, Lex is looking sick, but he's still looking great." You know what I mean? Lex.
Yeah, dude, please. Yeah, thank you all so much for putting up, or hopefully my voice wasn't too distracting. I had a great time with you, of course, Ernie. And yes, please sound off. Let us know what you think of Marvel's Wolverine, what you want from it. Do you even want it? What kind of game do you want them to continue to make with Insomniac? What kind of superhero do you want to see next? Thank you all so much. We will see you next week. Checkpoint reached. Goodbye.